Hey you, how are you doing? It is 7 weeks since I started bikepacking across Europe. What I learned the most in the time is how small the world actually is. But I also learned how big it is. I learned how different people and cultures are, but also how we are all the same. And I learned how short but also how long 7 weeks are. I learned about myself. What are my priorities? What do I want to do with the time given? And what kind of person do I want to be? Since I left Vienna 7 weeks ago, I would say I changed and I became much more the person I want to be. And it is my hope that I can inspire or motivate you to start your very own adventure. Make time shorter if you are waiting to start one, or bring the road to you if you cannot go now. With that said, let's hit the road. In week 7 of my tour, we continue biking along the Croatian coast. Previously, I crossed from Slovenia to Croatia, biked the Eastern Peninsula, crossed the Velebit Mountains in Croatia, and I arrived in the city of Zadar. After a short recovery from my legs in Zadar, we will hop on islands and bike towards the end of Croatia, where it borders with Montenegro, and we do all this hopefully in 1 week. Good morning, this is day 44 of the tour and I'm about to pack everything and leave. Today the day will be actually really exciting because it will be very different than usual. I leave Zadar, go on an island next to it, and I take a ferry to there, bike them basically along the island and take a ferry back today. So, time to leave. During the short break I not only use the time to recover and edit the current video, but also especially enjoy the sea a bit. By now though, I was really excited to leave and hit the road again. First stop of today, the ferry ticket office. So, I'm making already the first few kilometers here on this island. I forgot the name again, but it's really nice. It's crazy calm. It's very weird to describe, but it's very calm, relaxed. The water is crazy blue, really beautiful, amazing. It doesn't really make me in the mood for biking, even though I'm super excited biking again because after the break, finally hitting the road. But since I'm here, going through these villages along the coast, I don't know, I just want to go in the water and swim. I really would like to dive. I hope somewhere along this tour I have some budget to dive a little bit. That would be super cool. Slowly my brain and my body picked up the old routine again and this familiar movement of biking. So I started to pick up speed. The ride gave amazing views on crystal clear water and to the mountains on mainland. A perfect ride, if there would not be another problem. Oh my god, you can't imagine how hot it is. It's burning, I'm literally melting. I think also because of the break days, I need to acclimate to say it again. Crazy hot, it's really, literally burning. And the thing is, I have the feeling from now on, every day, will just get hotter and hotter. Oh my goodness. There's one thing I learned in the last weeks. Every time if it's too hot, I tell myself to bike faster, because then I get more wind and cool down. Sounds stupid, right? Somehow though it helps, so let's bike faster. I was actually just thinking, and today's day 44, and I realized in this complete 44 days, there was not one day where it was completely cloudy the whole day, and not one day where it was raining. Since 44 days, just sun and heat. It's crazy. There was like this two times there were thunderstorms, but it also was not raining crazy. One time it was not raining at all. It was just crazy wind. And one time there was a little bit of rain while thunderstorm, but nothing much. And I really would like to have like a proper rain or just a day cloudy. That would be so nice. Oh man, fuck. I went in the wrong direction. I shouldn't talk and drive. Retrospectively seen, I should have thought twice about what I wished for, but more about that later. For now, biking faster has not only cooled me down, but also brought me faster to the ferry, back to the mainland, where I then should make more kilometers till a place I want to make camp for tonight. Oh, wait, I still have half an hour and I cannot embark yet, so I will search for a coffee and especially some shade, and wait for the ferry to go, or wait for the ferry to let me embark.
And there are already a lot of cars waiting here to also embark. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. That was interesting. There was a traffic jam on the ferry to exit it because there was a bus and he got stuck somehow on the exit because the level was too low and he couldn't move anymore. So I just had to wait half an hour inside the ferry, smelling all the gasoline because people didn't turn off the engines. Very smart. Anyways, interesting experience. Never happened to me before. And hopefully never happens to me again. But yeah, I'm back on the mainland and I make the last 10 kilometers to the place where we sleep tonight. And yeah, mood couldn't be better.
Back on mainland meant another 40 kilometers before making camp.
This is everywhere in Croatia. In every side road like here, well, this is not just a side road, this is the Eurovelo trail, so one of the biggest long distance bike trails. But anyways, not complaining about that, just complaining that everywhere in Croatia, if there's a trail like this, it's full of trash, everywhere trash.
The last kilometers were during my favorite riding time. The sun began slowly to sink and the landscape received a warm golden touch. I biked between the sea on the right side and the lake Strana on the left, the largest lake of Croatia and almost at the same height as the sea. Not only in this light, amazing to look at.
There's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
I got a flat tire. I don't know what I touched, but I touched something. Of course, in the last few kilometers before the end, I need to have another flat tire. But I bought some hand gloves that I take with me to avoid that I have to get dirty hands from the chain. This was a new record. That was really easy. Zack, zack, bam, bam. I'm getting a bike expert, I tell you. I started from almost zero and now I'm almost pro. Cool. Look at this, full pressure again. I think I cannot say it more often, but this pump that I bought in Bratislava, this was just the best invested money. Nice. Long time ago that I had a flat tire.
Despite the flat tire, I was able to make the last kilometers during light and even make my camp with the last bits of the light. So time for making dinner, tortellini alla Giorgi, and then getting tucked away in my hammock. New day, new adventure. This night the temperature stayed the whole night above 25 degrees, making it nearly impossible for me to get some sleep, and I got maybe 3 hours of sleep. First thing in the morning I decided to cool down and take a swim.
I decided to try to fix my tube, and first step is I localized where the broken part is. Step 2 is reading the manual about how to do it and hopefully trying to fix it. That would be really great. I don't want to throw it away just because of this small hole, and I still will buy a reserve tube because I'm afraid I do it wrong, but let's try. Good morning! Or actually good lunchtime. I took a little bit longer because I took another swim and got refreshed, but I need to say it was not very smart because now it's 12 o'clock or almost 12 and it's basically the hottest period of the day when I start biking. I walked few meters and I feel already not refreshed anymore, but it is what it is. It was at least very, very nice. And then made a coffee, eat breakfast and another swim. Perfect, that's life. That's another level of life quality. For today it's around, I think, 70 kilometers to a town, and I will search there for a campground. I need to cut this week's video, so I need something with internet and where I can sit and just work 3-4 hours. So yeah, that's the plan.
If I would sleep only a few hours and then go to an office to work, I won't be able to function. But tiredness feels different during physical activities, and it is somehow refreshing to exercise.
Making a short break, in the background you see Šibenik. That's the next bigger city that I'm heading to today. And somewhere after Šibenik I will check for a campground. Very nice, I just met 3 fellow bikepackers going also to Istanbul. And there are some clouds, so I hope today it rains maybe a little bit, or at least cools down. Otherwise, if I have another night like yesterday, if I cannot sleep because it's too hot, I don't know.
Crossing the bridge to Šibenik gave incredible and stunning views in every direction. Soon after the bridge I reached Šibenik. Sadly I had no time to discover the town, but while biking I could at least catch some views of the old town, one of the historic cities that Croatia is so famous for.
So I left Šibenik and it was really not fun. I didn't see anything of the city actually, or almost anything, but the traffic is horrible and the people drive like idiots or like maniacs. Really, really not nice.
After leaving Šibenik, my hope of rain was gone and the clouds moved in the other direction, but at least it went pretty much downhill back to the sea. There I started to search for a campground, which I thought would be a lot easier. The first few campgrounds sent me away because either I'm not a camper van or they were full. So I had to continue along perfect beaches, beautiful little towns and a more than inviting sea.
Let's meet down at the lonely lake before summer has gone away. Swim out under a broken sky. Cold sun, colored with shades of white. Wave goodbye to last summer.
After searching and biking a little bit more, I found a campground in form of a garden of a house with some caravans. But I couldn't make my camp. Sadly there were no trees, so I had to make my tarp and hammock on the ground. And got some strange looks from the campervans. But I was happy with my little home and I used the last light for a swim in the sea. Before then I finally started to work and edit the current video. Day 45 of this tour greeted me with rain and finally clouds and pleasant temperature. Not during the night though, but at least in the morning. And hey, how amazing is that? The clouds gave the landscape an interesting look full of contrast.
Good morning to another amazing day, and yeah, I started already, made the first few kilometers and the first few meters of incline, and yeah, I need to cross this mountain here, or hill, so I need to directly after breakfast go up. I need to say I'm again crazy tired. I didn't sleep very good, it was again too hot. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight, hopefully a good rest and a good sleep. After climbing up the mountain, okay, actually at the hill, I continued on the elevation of around 400 to 600 meters and could discover some very rural areas. The downside of this, no water, no shops and no coffees, but really beautiful. Alright, and another flat tire. Unlucky, but this time at least the front tire. Not nice. Okay guys, I told you by now I am a full-on bike pro. So also this tube was changed in no time. One obstacle done, another to come. Yay, traffic jam! Woohoo! They're building a street. One obstacle done, another to come. I might have trusted my Komoot route a little bit too much, and it somehow led me through a very fancy looking campground. And of course, flat tire. So now between hotels, camper vans and the beach you could find me fixing my donkey. And since I'm out of tubes, I had to fix it on the spot, for the great entertainment of all the people passing by. But also this obstacle done, another, you know the game already. My route, which was one of the Eurorello trails, led next to the beach promenade, and suddenly I had a lot of obstacles. Eventually also this obstacle was gone, and I could pick up speed, bringing me closer to today's goal, the city Split. The clouds got in the meantime more and the wind picked up, but that won't stop me either. So I was just biking here and suddenly there on the left, let me show you, started a fence and there's the runway. Oh, that would be so cool if an airplane would start and land there. That should be now the airport of Split. How cool is this? Come on, one landing, that would be nice. I completely forgot to tell you, but actually I changed the topic of my YouTube channel. It's now plane spotting. You will watch now, Eurowings is about to start.
Boxes, boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, quitting was never an option. Exhausted, this passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it, nah, you cannot stop it. Switch up the flow, show you the way that it go. God is good, but his life is hard. But it gets better when you grind smart. I'm just really trying to leave a mark. We tired of being who they say we are. That's the baton, we gon' take it far. Always the real, we don't fake it all. Tired of 95.
Airport done, obstacle to come. Remember I said the clouds got darker and the wind picked up, and then I said, but this won't stop me either. Well. The thunderstorm passed the town where it took cover, around 12 kilometers before Split, and it left a most surreal looking sunset. Like a memory, guess what? It moved towards Split. Oh, if this is not a perfect end of the world scenario. The views are amazing. Crazy. Everything is orange. And red and purple. Beautiful! By continuing towards Split, the beauty turned into stress. The rain picked up, I came closer and closer to the storm, and it got dark. All this during terrible rush hour traffic while entering the city. Good morning. I didn't film anything yesterday because I was a little bit under shock. It was very scary the ride, but everything was managed. The only problem is I slipped at one point because I went from the street to the bike lane, and my back wheel, because it doesn't have a profile anymore, I guess, went a bit to the right and then I fell. But I think the carbon fibers are okay. It was mostly on the handle, I was more scratch on the handle, but it's okay. Nothing else happened. I hope to discover and split the old town, but after walking a little bit I tried to escape the tourist crowds as soon as possible and continue my journey.
The last day of this riding week should be an easy coast ride. The most exciting part although will be that in the accommodation a package from my dad is waiting for me, containing some goodies and most importantly the new tires for my bike. By now front and back are completely worn out. Notice the difference? That's the current ones and this is the new ones. I'm really, especially in the middle, I have almost no profile anymore. I hope you enjoyed this week's adventure. In the next episode we're gonna leave Croatia and with this the European Union and cross the border to Montenegro. What comes after, where do I continue and so on. And if you don't want to miss this out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. See you next week for a new adventure. Ciao ciao.